want to tell me to go piss up a tree, then I'll continue to fight the insurance. I mean,
I would never tell you to do that.
I know you.
The triple dial, dude.
Hello.
Hey, is this Mark?
Yeah, 3 in a row. I'm in the middle of doing something on the line. What's going on?
Oh, sorry about that, bro. For some reason, the first one that I tried did not go through. I don't know if it's my line or not, but I'm Jake's partner. He told me about the property over in Manchester on Thayer Street.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy who like figures out what houses we're buying and all that type of stuff. So I was calling to be caught up to speed on what was going on.
Not a problem. It's just that I'm just in the middle of something, and they had called yesterday.
Okay.
And I've just been talking a lot. There must have been 2 different, buyers, house for cash, and then after talking, do you work with Eddie?
No, not Eddie. My guy
No,
Jake.
yeah, the other guy that I talked to yesterday.
Yeah, the cool guy.
Yes, and he told me that he was gonna but he told me that he was going to talk to his investors, counterparts that he works with, and that he would get back to me in a day or 2 with a solid offer. That's what he said to me.
Yeah, so I'm the guy.
I said, but don't call tomorrow. I said, because I got a bunch of stuff going on. He said, no problem. I mean, there seems to be a lot of miscommunication, but certainly
it's at Mark. It's completely my fault. Jake did tell me that. I apologize. Yeah, Jake did tell me that, but I had a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, so I figured I'd try to squeeze the call in today.
I hear you. It's just I have a sick dog, and I had failed brain surgery, and I have some other medical issues that have come up very recently. That has almost paralyzed me in pain.
Holy
the only reason why. Yeah, I was a Marine. I was a Marine and a police officer down. I grew up in Massachusetts, joined the Marine Corps after being trained in historical restoration.
2,000 years later.
So, like I said, it's a great property. It's a great area. I said the advertisement alone you'd get if you ever bought this house or you did it, put your sign out. Every person who's ever worked on my home and put a sign out got work and got people to call. Like I said,
so Mark, if you ended up getting that loan from the bank, I know you have a lot going on, and this probably isn't the best solution for you. But let's just say you ended up taking some equity out, putting it into the roof, the foundation, all the systems, kitchen, bath.
Again.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's just say you ended up taking all that cash, dumping it into the house. What would it resell for?
Well, jeepers, the house across the street from me sold for $600,000. Right now, my house is valued at $491 to 5 something. I mean, it's a 2,300 square feet Victorian. See, someone's going to try to talk me down. And he asked me yesterday, what number would make you happy? What number would excite you? I said, it isn't exactly what it is, but if $400,000 you offer me, that would excite me.
Holy crap! 400,000.
I think even and you may disagree with me, but the Victorian across the street from me sold for almost 600, if not more, and they don't even have a yard. It's 3-story. They have a shared driveway that they fought about, and the other people left. The house right next to me sold for $600,000 just last year. Now, granted, the market was better, and granted, interest rates are, but still, the price per square foot has come up in the last couple of months, I believe, even for selling. And for the North End, no one can find property. And no one with a family can find property with a backyard. So it would be people who like an antique house. Everyone's always loved this house. I mean, half the people in the neighborhood lived in it at one time or another. Always loved it. And it's a fantastic location. You're a mile away from downtown. You're a mile away from the Verizon Center. You can walk everywhere. You got Stark Park a quarter mile in the other direction, and you're right at the corner lot, and you got a gigantic backyard. So if someone want to come in and do a little bit of remodeling, and at the same time, then granted. Now, if you want to tell me to go piss up a tree, then I'll continue to fight the insurance. I mean,
I would never tell you to do that.
I know you'd never tell me that, and I never talk like this, but
so Here's my thing, Mark, right? I actually do see the property that sold across the street, 451 River Road. It's a beautiful property, and it's literally
Yeah,
it's
I
literally
knew
right
they
across.
redid the whole thing.
They must have been amazing. So the problem is that thing sold per square foot at $203 per square foot. Your property is about 2,300 square feet,
Well,
right?
still, they bought it also too, because the prices are, they're hard to find too. You gotta look at, if people are looking to go to the North
100%.
End, or they're going to look at the dairy field, they're trying to go for properties.
Right.
And they can't find anything,
Yeah.
depending on where they live, and they don't want to do an hour and a half drive.
I get it.
So even people that are interested in going to Dairyfield School, it's a very prestigious school, and people have a lot of money that go there. Not
Yeah.
everybody, but a lot of people do. I mean, so it's a perfect scenario for someone to like an older home, invest a little bit, and they'll make their money back. I think you know that, and that's why you're interested in the property. Like I said, I'm not asking for top dollar, but I'm not giving it away either. I've been here for almost 30 years, and I've invested everything. But emotionality aside, because people get confused, and it's one of the baddest things to do, put the emotion about humility aside about me loving my house. I can let it go, because it's caused me so much.
Well, here's the
over-
here's the thing that I want to bring up, right? That property that sold across the street was about a year ago from today, where obviously we both know the market was super crazy about a year ago. Since then, the interest rates have kind of messed everything up, and it's came down. So Mark, hear me out. Yeah, hear me out 1 second. Right. So this thing sold for $202 per square feet. If we brought that over to your house, that would bring an evaluation of about $475. Now just hear me out really quick. Okay. That was back a year ago. Now we have to come a whole entire year ahead of time, where the interest rates keep spiking up. We don't know what the heck's going on. The banks are going out of whack, right?
I know the price is going on.
Everything's going on. Right.
Feds worrying about whether they're going to listen.
It is bananas.
Okay, even the feds
Right.
are now thinking about, are they going to raise interest rates because of the inflation, or are they going to try to keep them the same to try to pretend everything's okay?
100%. It's spooky. It's spooky. So the reason why I say it is because even us as investors, we have to be so wary of like the properties that we're reselling, because the market just keeps going down, right? So whenever we're buying houses,
you're not over on the south side or the east side. You're in the north end. This is a prime location that people are looking for properties. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, and I'm saying
no, it's a beautiful area.
It's even with the damage to my home, and everybody in the whole world, ever since I built this house and come into it, has loved it. And I told you, even the people who bought the house next door, and the people who looked at it, when they drove down the road, they said, when we went down your road, praying that it was, and wishing it was your house that we were going looking and buy. No, it's a
beautiful house. So here's what we're looking at, Mark. We're looking at a property that is worth, and I'm not going to go back and forth with you like, hey, I think the property's worth this, you think the property's worth that. It's a historical property. I think it's what, like, I'm not going to do that.
That's what I asked him not to do.
Right. Like I don't exactly. I don't want to do that. What I will tell you is that we ran it by our realtors who are like doing the deals, doing all the listings in Manchester, and we can resell this property what we feel comfortable with, running our numbers somewhere between 475 and 500. I'm not going to say that it can't go over 500, because who knows, the market could go up, maybe it could, but that's where we're at.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Okay,
absolutely.
So here's my thing, right? And I'll even be fair, and I'll go all the way up to our our number that we would get excited about, 500. Let's just say that that's what we think that it's going to resell at. If we're going to have to put $100,000 into it after we put $100,000 worth of rehab into it, we're at $400K, right? But that doesn't factor in everything that it takes to buy a house, right? We're going to cover the closing costs. We have to sell it on the back end, which means we're going to have to entail another bunch of fees for closing costs. So closing costs twice.
Totally agree.
But to get back to the numbers, right? We'd put $100,000 into it, and we got to close on it twice. That's closing costs plus the realtor fees. We get a lot.
I know what you're doing. what you're doing your job, and I know you're trying to get me to realize certain things too, but I realize certain things too. Do you know what I mean? And there's a certain number. It's not emotional, but it's a good piece of property, even with the investment. I
Mhm.
mean, it really is. I mean, in the North End, if you ask the realtors in this area, they could sell this place in a heartbeat if it was ready to go. You'd sell it tomorrow. It would be on the market like one, even with the market right now. If it never got hit by a tree and I didn't have the damage, it'd be sold in 3 days, just like the one across the street. What was it, sold in a week? I think the one up the street, it sold on the day in the open house. That one also went for huge bucks. The oldest one in the whole neighborhood. That's a couple of years before my house.
Yeah.
I mean, because 1870 is, I mean, that's before the Titanic.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I got all the original moldings. I mean, still, granted, even with the work that would need to be done to shore it up. Like I said, I understand. And I understand. So you guys.
Well, why don't we think about that? Let's think about how much money you need in your pocket after the sale is done. And I'll have Jake get that information from you on Monday, or actually even tomorrow. I think Jake's going to be available tomorrow. He can give you a call tomorrow, figure out what the number is. And what I mean by like net in your pockets, it's like after all fees, after closing costs, after everything, like what do you want to walk away with at close? After everything's paid off, any liens, any mortgages, anything like that, after all that's paid off, how much cash do you want? And then I can go back and I can figure out what the partnership program would look like. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, sounds great.
Love it. Mark, you are the freaking man. You are a legend.